what's going on, everybody? I'm going to give you a story time with Skizzleman, okay? And our story today is about my first encounter at Minecon. Minecon 2016 is my first one ever. I can't even put into words how amazing my experience was. Apparently, I'm going to try to because it's story time with Skizzleman, so here we go. First of all, what I want to talk about is the fact that I didn't even stay in a hotel, okay? I stayed in an awesome house with awesome people right across from the convention. There were so many English accents in this house. It was unbelievable, man. And everybody was so cool, okay? So to pay a little bit of homage to them, okay, I'm going to be throwing in a little bit of an English accent every here and there. Not too much because I'm awful at it, but it's just because I miss them already. But what we're going to do is I'm going to take you through this, take you through the people and everything. So let's crack on. Let's just crack on. And let's go through the people that were actually in the house. First one we're going to talk about, because we're going to be going through lots of lists here, okay? We had a little bit of Impulse SV. You all know who he is. Tango Tech. We had that Mumbo Jumbo. You everybody knows who Mumbo Jumbo is? Iscall85 was in there. MK the Worst was... Oh, I dropped him. I dropped the names. Dropped him. Hey. All right, so going on to Impulse SV. As you all know, he's my best friend. We've been friends for a very, very long time. I've known him like 20 years. It was super cool to see him here because he's kind of a big deal, and watching him do his thing, right? Signing autographs. I watched him when he started playing this game, and he just worked so hard, and so I got to sit back, you know, and just kind of watch him do his thing and lean back and just go, look at him go. Look at my boy go. And he was just killing it, man. So that was a lot of fun to watch. Tango. So Impulse and I drove up together and Tango came with us. And I didn't really know Tango before this, but I know him now. And he's a really good guy. He's extremely, extremely sharp. One of the things I thought I knew about him, turns out I was 100% correct on, is that dude is so dedicated to perfection. He is dedicated. If you can find anybody more dedicated to perfection than Tango Tech, then I'll show you somebody who's full of rubbish. See what I did? I did it again. God, it's awful. Last time I'm going to do this, I promise. Just this video. No more English accents after that. The way he works, the way he goes towards his work, what he does, that's why you see that quality in his videos. Total top shelf videos, right? So no mystery there why he's able to pull that off. And finally, please, we're just getting started. That Mumbo Jumbo. A stud, that one. Kid's like 20 years old. He's like 6'4", maybe 6'5". Got that English accent. You always got to have that English accent. Makes you even cooler. I'm not being facetious. I'm being serious here. 1.2 million subscribers. Totally humble. Just constant lines. Mobbed everywhere. It was very cool to see that happen. You know, the guy's just got it going on for him. You know, I'm very proud of him. Well done. What? Am I jealous? Yeah, the guy's killing it, man. So maybe one day, but good for him. He's just absolutely smoking it. Finally got to meet MK the Worst. Now, let me tell you something. MK and I go back a ways, cyber only, and we've had a lot of encounters one-on-one like this. She's in her rectangle. I'm in my rectangle. We're like, hey, how you doing? How's your rectangle? So I've never actually met her in person before, so it was super cool to do it this time. That girl's an absolute machine. She's not just a total sweetheart and a lot of fun to be around. She is a machine. I don't know how she does it. She's working like every single angle and like all that. She's everywhere. She's everywhere at once. There's just no way there's not more than one of her. I'm telling you, there were times that like I'd be at the convention talking to her. Now this is real. It's not a rectangle anymore. I'm here. She's in front of me. Okay. I can like touch her. Like that's my finger. That's my finger. That's her shoulder. Hey, how are you, MK? I'd be like, okay, well, I'm going to split off, and she'd say, okay, I'll see you in a bit, and then I would turn around, and boom, she's like up on the stage. I was just talking to her, and I'd be like, what the MK? And she's gone, poof. And I'm like, oh, dude, Impulse, come here. Look, dude, MK's up on the, where is she? Yeah, she's right in front of me. She's just all over the place, and she's just a machine, the way she can just plug along and keep on chugging. Also got to meet Iscall. Let me tell you something about Iscall, okay? Another hermit, another very successful, awesome hermit. That dude... It is scary how much him and I have in common. And he has this like very interesting way to compliment people. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Because like he was saying to me, because we were hanging out, he was telling me, I don't even want to try the accent because it's like real thick because he's like originally like Swedish, but it's like an English, Swedish. And he would say to me, man, you got to start streaming. You got to do something. And he was like, you're hilarious. It's your face. Your face. Your face is funny. And I was all, it's Thanks, man. And he's like, no, he's telling me, he's like, you have so many expressions. This is why you can move every muscle in your face, right? So I don't know what he was talking about. I don't know. Maybe that's what he was kind of talking. I don't really know, but hey, I'll take it, right? So hopefully you guys are enjoying this video, because being inspired by him and a lot of other things that I saw, maybe I'll be going down this road. Stressmonster. Let me tell you about Stressmonster. She's one of those people where you just like her instantly. Now, she's from Essex. Okay, I'm a little worried that I'm like messing this up, but I'm pretty sure she's from Essex. She's from Essex, and they not only have that awesome English accent that we Americans all love, but it's almost like a little bit more broken down, and it's like a super intoxicating accent. So when I met her, immediately she's like just super bubbly, very, very funny girl. I can't understand a damn word she's saying, then, which is fine, but I love it, and every once in a while I have to work with her, and I would say things like, I refuse to pretend I know what you're saying. I got to figure this out. We had this one moment where she was alluding to the fact that she had followed me on Twitter, and I'm like, that's great. And I had followed her too, and she kind of just kept staring at me. And finally, Iskal's like, he's not going to follow you though. And I said, no, I followed her. And she's like, no, you didn't. I said, yeah, I did. She goes, no, you didn't. And I was like, Stress, yes, I did. And she says, no, you didn't. I got no vacation. And I'm all, what? And she says, I got no vacation. What? Why are you talking about vacation? You have no vacation? Yeah, I have no vacation. And then it hits me, notification. And I said, well, you would have gotten a notification? And she rolls her eyes. Yes, I would have gotten a notification. Like, I'm the one who's ridiculous. Stress, I love you, okay? But whenever you would say butter, I want the butter, that's butter. It's butter. You wanted butter. Pass the butter, not the butter. There's a T in there. There's actually two of them. There's a backup in case you didn't see the first one. So we were always having this back and forth, but I would not change anything about her. If I could, I would snap my fingers and I would have that same accent. So believe me, I was loving it. Erdy plays. You're not going to meet a nicer guy. Not going to happen. This guy will give you the shirt off his back, even if you're wearing one. He will give you the shirt off his back, even if you're wearing one, and you even have a jacket on, and an overcoat, and a scarf. He's going to do whatever he can for me. It's just what he does. He was going back and forth between the house and the airport, picking people up over and over again. And it was like, it's a long drive. It's not a 15-minute drive. It was a long drive. And he would like come in and be like, finally drop some more people off, and he'd go, oh, and his phone would go, oh, okay, I gotta go now. And he would get up and he would be off again and back, and he never complained. Very, very clearly, his love language is acts of service, because he just likes to do things for people, and he's just a total pleasure to be around. And every time I'd walk into the room, he'd go, hey, buddy, because that's like a Skizzleman thing, and I'd walk in, he'd go, what's up, buddy? And I was just loving it, loving hanging out with Erdy. Kimmy Maria. She is a very lovely, motherly woman. And when I first met her, we had a great moment that first night where we were just sitting down. It turns out, in terms of entertainment, we actually have a lot of similarities there. We're both huge Harry Potter fans, and we got into this conversation about how in Dumbledore, in the third movie, he was out of character. It's because of different direction. And we both just saw eye to eye on this like fine part of the Harry Potter series. So that was a lot of fun. And then she has this, I was telling you about Iskal and his ability to insult and compliment at the same time. If he's the king, she's the queen, because she was so funny. She says, I love Naked and Scared. That's the series Impulse and I do with each other. I love Naked and Scared. That's my favorite series. Your Minecraft is rubbish. She's like, you're awful. Now, in her defense, I am pretty much the worst out there, but you don't have to tell me to my face. But it's all right. It doesn't bother me at all. That's my shtick. She catches on to that, and that's just fine. Dadcraft73. That dude's name is absolutely perfect. You cannot come up with a better name than Dadcraft73. He was in the house, absolute dad. The very first morning, he cooked us breakfast, serious breakfast. The real, I mean, talking like, are you going to cook us later? You're trying to fatten us up. It was just, it was biscuits and gravy, and he made bacon and pancakes, and we were like rotisserie and a pig. I'm pretty sure I ate a giraffe at one point. It was just the most incredible breakfast I've ever had. First time I've ever had giraffe. It was the most incredible breakfast I've ever had, and I was just, God, I was like, oh. Now, I met a couple other people, a handful of other people that I either came, in passing with or whatever, that weren't in the house, but Cabo PC from the original Zip crowd, this dude has like a friendship Jedi vibe. He is like the most mellow, cool, calm guy you're ever going to meet. And he has this like mind trick, right? Like the second you meet him, you just want to be his best friend. You can't figure it out. Impulse is like, hey, Skiz, come here. This is Cabo. Remember Cabo? And I'm like, hey, man. Oh, my God, I want you to be my best friend. Like, it was just amazing. He's just like got this calming presence, like this total, like, just Jedi, just, you will love me. Like, he's just above everything. And he doesn't come off like he's above everything. I'm telling you, he's above everything. Didn't get to spend a whole lot of time with some other dudes I would have liked to, Cub Fan and Hypno and Python. But the little bit of interaction I had with them, there's solid consensus. Just awesome dudes. All super, super nice guys. Super nice guys. A lot of fun to be around, and it was real honor to even be in their presence. So that was super cool. Even got to spend a short stint with Matt and James, who are the godfathers of the up and coming, the established and even further up and coming amazing streaming platform Beam. Keep an eye on these guys, because you watch these guys, you're going to read about them in the future. They're very young and they're full on genius. So keep an eye on them. That was a lot of fun. So that's the house, right? What about the con? What about the con? What can we talk about the con? So it was so cool to live in that house, but going to the con, I was like, I love it when things are done right, And there was just so much to see, beautiful arrangements, and they had like this cool, like they had, trees, like Minecraft trees where you could hit the center of it and the center would come out, and had all these really, really innovative games, really cool stuff. The thing I was looking forward to the most was actually the Hermitcraft panel. And it really, I'll be 100% honest with you, it's because my boy Impulse obviously is a hermit and he's going to be in this panel, and I'm looking forward to watch him work. It's fun. It's fun to watch your buddies do that. And I got this, I want to tell you, so many of you know that I actually ended up streaming it, right? Using Periscope, using my phone, which is around here somewhere. I ended up streaming it, which was cool. But let me tell you a little story on how that happened, because it's even cooler. So we were driving up, and I just sort of mentioned, a quick mention. I was like, maybe I'll use Periscope and I'll stream the panel. And they were like, oh, that might be cool. And then the more we thought about it, when kind of through logistics, I was talking to Impulse, and I'm like, I don't, I want to do this. I'm worried about. He's like, you worried about data? And I said, well, yeah, but not totally worried about data. I could pay extra. I don't really care. I'm actually worried about quality. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get on the Wi-Fi there. Because I don't care about data, but if I'm on cellular, it might suck. If I'm on Wi-Fi, it might be even worse, because there's like 12,000 people there. It could just be awful. So we talked about it, and Impulse and I were both like, you know what? It's probably a bad idea. What you might do is get a lot of people's hopes up, and then it sucks. I'm like, all right, you're right. Now, and I, because I always jump the gun like this, boing, I had already tweeted out that I was going to do that. I was gonna stream it. So now I'm tweeting out, sorry everybody, I'm not gonna do it. Oh, good, my dogs are barking. I hope that continues. Go on. Keep barking. So I'm like, all right, so I'm going to go ahead and tweet out that I'm not going to stream it. So I tell them, and man, the heartbreak out there. And it broke my heart. They were like very, very bummed. And it took that moment for me to realize, man, I let up a lot of people down, and that sucks. Maybe because I'm afraid of it not being perfect, maybe that's not reason enough not to do anything. Write that down. Name it. Not the other stuff, just to write that down. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it. And now, here's the thing that's awesome. It's like 15 minutes before the panel's about to start. All the hermits are already on stage, hanging out, getting ready, nervous, moving their stuff around, slapping each other, throwing up. And I thought, I'm going to do this. So I walk up to Impulse, and I'm like looking up on stage, and I go, Impulse, I'm going to stream it. And he goes, are you really? And I said, yeah. And he goes, wow, okay. Okay. And he goes, let me tell Zuma. So he tells Zuma. And Zoom says, hey, tell him to start streaming now as a test, and let me take a look at the quality. I'm like, apps, that's a great idea. Do a little test. And just during the test, the numbers started to go up, right? And Impulse is up there and he looks at me and he holds his thumbs up. He says the quality is great, dude. And I'm like, wow, okay, let's do this. So then the Hermits all tweet out, hey, if you want to watch us, Skizzleman is streaming it, check it out. So then I go to start streaming a few minutes before and I say something like, Hermitcraft panel is ramping up now or whatever. And I start streaming, dude, and the followers, dude, they go, 1 follower, 1, 2, well, there's 2. 4, 8. 8's good. 20. Wow. Okay. 40, 80, 120, 180, 260, 300. At one point, it like bumped over like 460 or something. And I was like, okay, sweet. Like, I'm holding this little thing and everybody's, wait, it's about this big, like this. And I'm like, okay, well, this is good. I can do this. I'm not nervous at all about letting all these people down. And I start going on their panel and I start realizing I probably should have worked out angles beforehand. The lighting in here kind of sucks, so you can't necessarily see their face. If I zoom in, then you can actually see my heartbeat on screen. Like literally every time my heart would beat, you'd see this happen. So I zoomed out and I got them in the bottom corner and I got up on the big screen. I'd go up and show the crowd and it was just very well received. It was a total colossal success. Could have been a colossal failure. Rolled the dice, colossal success. Super happy about that. The Twitter love was huge. So to everybody, I feel like I want to talk to you right now. Everybody who's been constantly hitting me on Twitter and thanking me and telling Impulse, please thank him. Whoop. You like that? I feel good. You like when I do that. Everybody who's been doing that, you're more than welcome. I can't tell you how welcome you are. It's my pleasure. It's 100% my pleasure to do that. And then I got to what their panel was amazing. These dudes are so committed to doing the best that they can. They did not want to go up there and just be like, all right, what do you want? What do you want to talk about? They wanted to be the best they could. And there's no question as to why they were the best panel. So, much kudos to them. And Zuma even got to be there. Not in person. We all know Zoom doesn't show his face, and he was at home. They Skyped him in, and the quality was so good. This is hats off to the audio engineers at the con. Because every time he would talk, everybody on stage would be like, where's that? Because he sounded exactly like they did. And they had a little cardboard box of his head that they would kind of wiggle around and stuff, which was pretty cool. And to his credit, man, to come in through Skype like that and be just perfect. It's like you were sitting there on my lap. It was well done. Very well done. So very, very solid panel. The Hermitcraft meetups. Okay. The Hermitcraft meetups. All the autographs that they were signing. Okay, I mean, we're going to get to them in a second. First, we're going to talk about Skizzleman. A little bit about Skizzleman, okay? We're talking about me. Focus on me now. I'm going to tell you right now, the attention that, I got, I could never have seen that coming. I was 100% convinced that I was just going to fly under the radar. Just watch them do their thing, enjoy them do their thing, enjoy watching them do their thing. I had no idea I would ever even be on the radar on any level. And I was just standing in the wings and people come up and be like, dude, are you Skizzleman? And I was like, yeah, what's going on? And they're, oh, can you sign this? And they want pictures and all that stuff. And it was far, far, far more frequent than I ever could imagine. The consensus was every single one of them was just so cool. So to everybody who came up and wanted a picture or an autograph or to shake my hand, you made my day. I assure you that's the case. Obviously, the what was going on with Impulse and Tango and Iskall and all them was obviously, a bigger deal. They had like crowds around them and stuff, and it was awesome watching Mumbo stand there for 2 hours. 2 hours, man. And this line was like it just kept going. It never moved. It was just I know he was shaking hands and kids were leaving. And he would shake more hands and they would leave. But the line was just always stayed the same for 2 straight hours. I know he's back in the UK, but I think it's because the line went all the way there. So it's it just kept going for him, and his disposition was fantastic. He was just super, super having fun with every single one of them. He never made one person feel like they were not as important as the person before them, and it was genuine too. Let me tell you something, okay? It's not like we got back to the house and he was like, oh, well, that was exhausting. We would get back to the house and he was his bubbly self. It was like he wanted to go out and do it again. So that was a lot. That was a lot of fun to watch. Super cool. And as far as the rest of the con goes, the snapshot looks like it's going to be awesome. I mean, I've never been more motivated to dig back into Minecraft again. I don't get as much time to play as I'd like, but it's one of those situations where I was watching what's going to be on the snapshot. And I'm like, I just want to go home and play right now. It's just such cool stuff with the shulker box and the maps, the navigation maps. That's going to be super cool. But more than that, hanging out with these people has been incredibly inspiring. And I have always toyed around with the idea of getting back into YouTube and doing that. And I always said I didn't really have the time for it. And the time is hard to find. But what matters is if the passion exists, that's really all you need. You'll find the rest. So I'm excited about coming back. I'm gonna finish up this current series, this Event Zero series I got going on. I want to wrap that up, get it maybe into my own Let's Play. Obviously, keep chugging along with Naked and Scared with Impulse. Just have a lot of fun because what I saw there was just super inspiring. Great people. Huge success stories. It's just so cool to see what can be when you go do what you're supposed to be. So Skizzleman's official statement about 2016 is that it couldn't have been better. Couldn't have been better. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Talk to you next time.